Maya's costume? Yeah, she was wearing this when we arrested her. Maya, she's wearing her channeling costume today, too. Is she not allowed to wear anything else? This blood on the costume. Lab results show it is the victim's blood. I need to extract something. So there was blood from the victim on the... There's blood from the victim on the defendant's clothes. Definitely not good. Were there any other clues you could glean from this piece of evidence? Well... If you must change the topic, then the good detective here must testify again. But too bad. Not enough time. Time to move on. Oh yes, Mr. Von Kommer is perfectly correct. Now even the judge is on her side. But if I bite off more than I can chew here, what should I do? Why is Miss Von Karma suddenly putting up resistance? There must be a reason as to why she suddenly threw out an objection like that. Ah, this is the direction I'm supposed to go, sorry. There must be a clue somewhere on this costume, I just have to look harder. Mr. Wright, Miss Von Karma's logic is perfect. There is no way for you to poke a hole in it. Ah, looks like my time is up. So about the costume. Your Honor! Actually, there is something very wrong with this piece of evidence. What? What are you talking about, pal? Where is the problem you were talking about? I've come this far. There's no turning back. The problem I have with this piece of evidence is here. I asked the court to please take a look at the sleeve of the costume. The sleeve? There is a tiny hole here. A hole? But that wasn't in the report. Hold on. What's this around the hole? It smells faintly of gunpowder. Gunpowder? No one ever told me that! A hole that sounds of gunpowder. It looks like I found the hole I was looking for. Your Honor, the only logical conclusion you can make is that it must be a bullet hole. I'm making my time worse by making mistakes. Order, order, order! This is a very grave matter. It's best we correct the court record first before anything else. There we go! That's what I wanted! Sorry about that. I guess we messed up, pal. Sir, you're not my pal. You hit me. Is she actually smiling? What else is she hiding? Pull yourself together, detective. That tiny hole doesn't change a thing. The strength of the evidence still holds. Continue with your testimony. That just now was a fluke, nothing more. How can you say something like that? This is a huge oversight. While I agree it is a mistake on the part of the police, what Prosecutor Von Karma has said is true. The evidence still stands. If you do not find a more definitive problem with the evidence, then... No way! Detective Gumshoe, please continue with your testimony. Yes, sir. Now I can be a jerk. Detective Dick Gumshoe. Yes? Oh god. Having you call me by my full name is kind of a weird feeling. Fun. You said that my client killed a person who was, without a doubt, not fighting back. Yeah, I did. Then what, may I ask, is the bullet hole you police overlook supposed to mean? What does it mean? I'll tell you what it means. It means that the victim had fired off a shot. Is that what it means to not fight back? Oh, you're right! It would seem that way. If the victim tried to shoot the defendant, then it would change everything. Alright, the wind seems to be shifting. Huh! What is with this "are you finished yet" laugh? Are you finished yet, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Miss Von Karma? It seems that Maya Fey was shot at by the victim. However, that is only grounds enough to support a justified self-defense plea. That is correct. But I'm sure you remember, Your Honor, what the defense clearly said. They rejected justified self-defense and pleaded not guilty. Ah! Now that you... Why, that's right. Which means the defense is yet to prove anything at all. No! Well, yes, that's true. Furthermore, just the fact that there is a bullet hole in the costume is not enough to substantiate even a plea of justified self-defense. How so? Ah! Don't just stand there. Hurry up and tell the court what transpired that day. I can't remember, seriously, what I'm supposed to be doing. I think I'm supposed to say what. Hurry up and tell the court what transpired that day. With the new information we acquired added in, of course. Huh? You mean by myself? You want me to put together the scenario all by myself? Ah! Yes, sir. Right away, sir. During the channeling, the defendant saw her chance to stab the victim in the chest. Of course, the victim used the last of his strength to fight back, sir. While the two were fighting, the victim took out his gun. The victim took a shot, but because they were too close, he missed. The defendant then picked up on the opening, took the victim's gun, and ended it. This scenario you've put together does make sense. Yes, sir. Well, Mr. Wright, just by listening, it does make sense. However, I won't give up that easily. Please refrain from glaring at me like that. Now then, your cross-examination, please. I'm gonna press and stuff, and we're gonna practice my Franziska or something. Franziska is going to be an eternal practice throughout the entire LP. I'm not gonna get Franziska right until maybe the end of the thing. So just be warned, I'm gonna probably launch into the bad accent pretending to be German thing again. That is mostly gonna be me turning my W's into V's because that's the only thing I can handle. There's quite a difference in height between Dr. Gray and the defendant. Add in body strength and it seems unlikely the defendant could have stabbed the victim. Now you mention it. Yeah, I guess. You think you can get away with such flimsy reasoning, Mr. Phoenix Wright? See, I can't consistent on anything. Maya Fey was in the middle of channeling, was she not? When channeling with the Kurine channeling technique, the medium physically changes. With the nurse's build, the defendant could have easily been a match for the doctor. I don't believe it. She even studied up on the Kurine channeling technique. Like I said before, I am perfect. About what you were talking about. Was this guy British? I can't remember. About what you were talking about, I didn't quite get it. See what I mean? I can't do this. Never mind. Let's continue with the testimony. So he was stabbed, but the stab wound didn't kill him. But if you think about the blood loss, it was pretty bad. How bad would you say it was? Actually, I went to give blood the other day, and afterward I felt a little lightheaded and dizzy. I guess the damage was maybe about 10 times the dizziness. Ugh! Sorry. See, I can't remember anything today. That's where we're gonna press. We're gonna press, press, press. Where in the world did that pistol come from? It looks like the victim, Dr. Gray, had specifically bought it for that day. but a handgun. He got it off the black market about 2 days before the murder. Why did Dr. Gray bring a gun? Was he taking precautions against something? So, you're saying that the bullet hole in this costume was made then? Sorry, pal, but that's what I think. The two of them were already fighting when the shot was fired. Maya, I'm really glad you weren't hurt. Maya has never fired a gun before in her life. The victim had already taken off the safety. With the safety off, even an amateur like you can fire it by pulling the trigger. Even me? I wonder. Now do you understand? Von Karma's logic is perfect. So, somewhere in his logic, there was a contradiction. The only thing I can take here is, the victim took a shot, but because they were too close, he missed. Why would Maya then be on target? But I'm gonna do the thing I should not be doing on the second case and looking it up, because my head is too fuzzy here, and, you know, it'll come back to me. What's going on? I am so sorry about this. I'm gonna present this according to the spoiler-free walkthrough. I'm very confused. I can't remember what's going on. It's apparently correct, so what am I complaining about? Missing the tiny hole on this costume will be the prosecution's undoing. Huh? What do you mean? This little hole has actually created a huge hole in your testimony. Explain yourself, Mr. Wright. You said the two of them were fighting when the victim fired his gun at point blank. If that were true, then where is the gunpowder burn on the costume? That's why gunpowder burn was mentioned. This costume should be slightly burned. I'd completely forgotten gunpowder burn existed over the course of the last 2 days. That's the problem. Okay. Gunpowder burn? This is what you testified earlier. When something is shot from point blank range, a burn area is left around the burn hole. Bullet hole, lines. Oh! But there is not a single trace of gunpowder burn on this costume. Jesus fuck, that was difficult if you broke it away in the middle of that. That is a very good point. And what exactly does this mean? It means that when the shot was fired, they were standing apart from each other. I'm disappointed, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You think you can punch a hole in my logic with that? With wishy-washy thinking like that, anyone could explain anything away. I can't accent, I'm sorry. Kevin is crying in the distance. It's like, no, somebody get Tiffany Grant. He likes Tiffany Grant. Then I implore you to disprove my line of thinking. Let's see. In the middle of their fight, the victim pushed the defendant away. And it was then, when they were separated, that he fired. How was that? As if that was even possible. According to testimony, the wounds from the stabbing were very severe. Wound from the stabbing was very severe. I made more wounds up. The victim would not have had the strength to push the defendant very far after that. Well, then... That's right! The defendant must have pushed the victim away. After stabbing him, she must have put some space between the doctor and herself. And then, while she was preparing to strike again, the doctor took his shot. Ja, ich liebe Tiffany. Yes, pretty much. There, that should satisfy even you. That does make an awful lot of sense. What do you think, Mr. Wright? I must be careful. I can't afford to make a mistake here, like I have several times with the lines. Concentrate and think. There is a fatal flaw in her argument, Your Honor. Fatal flaw? Yo! Very interesting. I would love to see where this flaw is. Show me something that contradicts my explanation. He's telling me he's telling me he likes the accent. I'd love it if I were consistent. There has to be a snag in her explanation somewhere. She put some distance between them before rushing to make the final blow. And when she was about to strike, the doctor took his shot. There must be a piece of evidence that contradicts this line of thinking. That's so low off the ground, that isn't even funny. This is the piece of evidence that destroys your logic. It's the only ever one with the bullet hole in, so it's gotta work. What is that, a folding screen? I would like to point the court's attention to the hole in the folding screen. Ah! It looks like you already know what I'm talking about. Who? Where? What? Mr. Wright, your explanation, please. Are these two really that clueless? The bullet went through the defendant's sleeve first, then the folding screen. It passed through at a height of approximately 8 inches off the ground, which means... when the shot was fired, the defendant, was not getting ready to strike, but was actually squatting low to the ground. Order, order! This changes everything. Please look at this diagram of the crime scene. The victim, Dr. Gray, was here when he fired the shot, and the bullet hit this folding screen. It hit at this location about 8 inches off the ground. At this time, the defendant was in this area. I don't know. Like there? What if she was back here? I present a random area and it's not gonna work. Somewhere around here. Shit, it worked. Uh-oh, that judge's face is just scrunched up like he smelled some serious bad breath. Shit. Okay, that is, Wait, I just realized I forgot to brush this morning. Excuse me while I freshen up. Sure. In the meantime, I want you to think things through again, Mr. Wright. Ah, of course. Whoops. What's done is done. For now, I should focus on where Maya was at the time of the crime. Somewhere around this thing. I'm gonna open up the page I just closed, and you can see me opening up the page because, yeah. Do you know what? I did it again! I did it again! I did it again because I don't understand what the map is asking me to do. If I get flushes, I can always start again. Yeah, but I have to start the... I haven't saved just before this question because I thought I could do it. I didn't expect this question. That's why I'm constantly fleeing now to an FAQ, hoping that somebody will give me the context, at least, for what on earth is meant by this. This is exactly what the FAQs are telling me to present, and I've got this fear that it's not going to work. That's why I'm now looking for about 5 different FAQs, hoping that they align on a point. I should not have to be doing this, and I sincerely apologise that I should not have to be doing this. One of them had a physical map! One of them drew a map! Oh my god, one person actually drew a map, because this is such a strange thing to ask somebody to do. Good person who drew a map! She was standing here, near the folding screen. Wait a second! We know the defendant was close to the ground based on the height of the bullet hole. But how can you gauge the distance from that? Isn't it possible that the defendant was standing much closer to the victim? That's impossible. But why? You, of all people, should know the answer to that question, Miss Von Karma. If she were shot from somewhere closer, there would be gunpowder burns present. However, there is nothing of the sort around the bullet hole of this costume. Ah! Curse you, Mr. Phoenix Wright! You... I believe it has now been proven that the defendant was standing a ways from the victim when she was shot at. But do you think this has changed the defendant's situation? I've spent 20 minutes doing something that should have taken 2. I'm so sorry for wasting your time. All of your time. Honestly, Your Honor, this changes everything. The prosecution has claimed that the defendant was aiming to kill by stabbing. If that were true, delivering the final strike with the knife would be ideal. However, where and what was the defendant doing at the time? Squatting all the way by the folding screen? Exactly. If Maya Fey was the real murderer, why would she be by the folding screen instead of preparing to strike? Upon further consideration, it does make very little sense. Yeah, I figured there had to be a reason. Figuring things out and proving the logic behind everything is your job! Oof! Alright, with this, the rest of the trial should be in the last radius of disaster. You are such a smart man, Mr. Phoenix Wright. To think that you've been able to take a completely hopeless case to this point. Now I know why Papa had a tough time with you. You amuse me. Ugh, of all the things to inherit, why did it have to be that smarmy smile? Detective? How dare you damage my perfect logic? How is it all my fault? You can start repairing your standing by first removing that three-strand goatee. Oh, and rest assured, your punishment will come later. See, I cannot be consistent on these V's, goddammit. Punishment? Well then, Your Honor, I think I've had all I can take of this detective's face. I think it's time to call in the next witness. Next witness? That's gotta be Lada. Very well. The court will take a 5-minute recess. After we reconvene, we will hear from the next witness. My voice was cooperating then, I swear. Hey look, a place I could have broken from yesterday. I should have broken from there yesterday, it would have been great. Look, there's even a save point. Phew, that was a close one. I know you were giving it your all to defend me, but I could feel the death penalty hanging in the air. I felt like I was pretty close to dying myself. But you're wonderful out there. You listened carefully, made fairies, and tricked everyone into believing you. Thanks. Wait, tricked? That must be the lawyer's secret technique, right? By the way, is the next witness who I think it is? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Lotta Hart. Oh, another jam like always. Remember, Nick, you promised you'd save me. If you lose, my ghost will come after you with my sister and will haunt you.
Your sister? Are you talking about Mystic Mia?
Yeah, do you remember her, Pearly? My sister was a super good lawyer. She was also Nick's teacher.
I didn't know that.
What a teeny baby. Isn't she a teeny baby? She's the teeniest of babies. God damn it, I want to hug her. Court will now reconvene. Now the first order. Oh! I don't want to hear it, old man. After I call my witness, sit there quietly and watch like a good little boy. Sit there and watch? I don't know. Yes, sir. Bring in the photographer who witnessed the channeling. She didn't witness the channeling, that was the whole fucking point. That was the reason I had to break down the door. Witness? Your name and occupation, if you please. I can't remember how to do this accent. Hey, Phoenix, how you doing? Just fine. Sorry about this. Didn't exactly have a choice, you know. Elsa! Name and occupation. I declare one tarnation. Hey, Judge, this here is violence against my fair self. That's fine. That's fine? That ain't fine, that's a whip. Ah! There's no need for foolish outcries from foolishly foolish fools. Just hurry up and testify about what happened on the day of the murder. I haven't even gotten to say my name and job yet. My name's Lana Hart, paranormal photographer, and I'm here to testify. No, let's all be one big happy family, okay? I can't remember how to do this accent. Yeehaw! Only the dark and the defendant went into the channeling chamber. We were waiting outside the door and then bang! We hear this gunshot. Mr. Lawyer there broke the door down and we rushed into the room. Inside was the dead victim and the defendant waving a pistol around. I swear, other than those two, there was no one else there in the room. That was the kind of thing I was gonna do. Well. And did you take a picture of the scene right after the murder took place? Reckon course. Huh? Excuse me? Reckon course, it's short for you reckon of course I did. Ah! Does it look like I care? Just hurry up and show your picture to the court. To the court. The moment of truth. What will be in that picture? Let's see here. This here's the picture. She's on the other end of the room. It would certainly seem that only the defendant and victim were in that room. Why are the positions reversed from what we decided, you know? Are you ready, Mr. Phoenix Wright? I will clear all doubt about Maya through this cross-examination. Just watch me. Do I have to do all these accents? They really hurt my brain. Safe to state here. Just in case. Hold it! Was it really a gunshot? Are you insane? You must have heard it as well. Why don't you testify for the court, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Was it really a gunshot? Yes, I think it was something that sounded like a gunshot. And why are we here listening to the defense testify? And the world becomes just a little crueler. I heard a gunshot a long time ago, so I know. And I tell you, that was a gunshot I heard. Now this is where the story heats up. Excellent. I love you, Lana. I gotta hug you, Lana. Everybody hug the Lana. Everybody hug her. We don't have to fluff the fro. Her permission to fluff the fro. Are you absolutely certain of that? Sure am. But an old witch chased us out of the room, so... Old witch? Does she mean Morgan Fay? But there was no one else in there, and you know it. The channeling chamber was very dark, almost pitch black. Was there really no one else in there? What about behind the folding screen? Did you check back there? Forgiven? Huh? What in the... Forgiven? You know, you reckon that's a given. I took me a good look around the room once. There ain't no way anyone was hanging out behind that folding screen. If I may have a word with you, Miss Hart. What, you got a problem? Forgiven. I mean, I'm having little difficulty in understanding you. If you would stop saying such things as forgiven and so forth. Now then, Mr. Phoenix Wright, do you see a problem with the testimony or don't you? Story adds up. What's worse is that I was there at the scene of the crime too, and her story is exactly how I would have told it. I gotta press this. So, let me get this straight. This Mr. Lawyer there broke the door down. Honestly, Mr. Phoenix Wright, why don't you tell us what happened then? Yes, Miss Von Karma, I broke the door down, I'm sorry. Why does this feel like an inquisition? No need for apologizing, that was great. You're a real man. Oh, really? That's something I would have liked to see. The judge is smiling rather openly. I'll take that as a good sign. And, what did you see once you broke in? Okay, so, Kevin, if he's still here. Yesterday, Phoenix broke the door down to get to Maya because he was worried. This was a thick iron door that was locked. Phoenix broke it open with his shoulder and has received no injury for this. Phoenix Wright will do anything for Maya Fey. Honest to God. Was it really only those two that went in? I'm gonna critique everything. What are you blabbering about? You were there too, were you not? Ugh. Why don't you answer that yourself? Was it really just the two of them? Yes, Dr. Gray and Meyer were the only two who went into the room. I should have done this in order. Hold on, we can't have the defense testifying against its own client. Anyway, folks, only the two of them went into the channeling chamber, you hear? But you knew that from the very beginning, didn't you? But accent is something I have to work out for myself. You see, if I'm doing it for myself, it flows a lot more naturally. Question. Are you sure it was the defendant Maya Fey? Sure, I'm sure. Lotta seems awful confident in her testimony. Lotta, please, think back to that day one more time. What you getting at? Remember what you said when we broke into the room? I'm not reading this dialogue again. Kevin will have to go back and do a thing. When you saw the murderer at that time, you couldn't even tell if it was Maya Fey or not, am I correct? Oh, well, you see. Order! Miss Hart, you are here to present accurate testimony. Yeah, sorry. Good. This shifts things back to my side. I can't read. For a defense lawyer, your defense is terribly lacking, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Witness, think back to when those two entered the channeling chamber. When they entered? One of those people that entered the chamber was Maya Fey, correct? I cannot read, I seriously can't.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it was Maya that went in. It looks like we've come to a collective conclusion. The person in this picture is most certainly Maya Fey.
Exactly.
Rats, and I'm trapped like one. Again! Just as I thought, there was nothing wrong with her testimony. I was with her, so I know she's telling the truth. Enough! It seems there are no issues with Miss Hart's testimony. At the time of the crime, only 2 people were in the channeling chamber. The victim, Dr. Turner Gray, and the defendant, Maya Fey. The face of the defendant cannot be verified in this picture. However, if we think about the circumstances, it would have to be the defendant. What am I gonna do if I just let this go? What is Mr. Wright? You look as if you have something to say. If I make one wrong move, I'm going to have the judge against me. Is there anything I can present that will prove it's not Maya? I don't fucking know. You know. Well, Mr. Wright? Nothing, Your Honor.
That's very smart of you, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You really should give up trying to prove this is not Maya Fey.
I didn't say anything about giving up. I just don't have the right piece of evidence to prove my argument. That's enough. Is this it? Is this all I could do? I think it is quite obvious to the court that a verdict of not guilty is not possible.
I told you. Totally, 100% impossible.
Miss Von Karma, do you have any further questions for this defendant?
Having established the defendant's guilt, further questioning won't be needed.
What about the defense? No further questions, I presume? I couldn't protect Maya. The defense... Phoenix, you can't make that kind of face. A lawyer is someone who smiles no matter how bad it gets. Mia? I guess I made it just in time, wouldn't you say?
But... Pearls?
Her clothes are a bit small.
She's literally just, like, covering up with her arms the entire time. Holy shit.
Anyway, what are you waiting for, Phoenix? Let's go.
But how? She's already taken away every advantage.
The advantage is still in your hand. Think carefully one more time about what you saw in the channeling chamber. Do you remember what you told me yesterday? You see, there is one final piece of the puzzle. Mia? Question Lotta one more time, Phoenix. I don't know if she's doing it subconsciously or on purpose, but she's not testifying truthfully. Now then, this court would like to end the cross-examination period.
Please wait, Your Honor.
The defense would like to request that the witness testify just one more time. Overruled. I'm afraid you're too late, Mr. Wright. The cross-examination has already ended. Furthermore, any unrelated...
It's fine. I'll allow another testimony. Von Karma's case is perfect. Absolutely flawless.
Absolutely flawless? I don't know.
And what better times than this for you to see that?
But, I mean, I have some place I must go after this. All right, I'll allow it. Miss Hart, hurry and give us another testimony.
Well, heck, what am I supposed to talk about? Please tell us once more what happened when you burst into the channeling chamber. Okay, you got it. See, you got through to the judge somehow, right? Well, actually, the whip got through to the judge, but... See, I told you! That's exactly the vibe! Oh, that's beautiful. I'm not even gonna read that line correctly, because that was just perfect. When we broke into that room, all I could focus on was Maya. I was, kinda scared of the dead body, so I didn't take a good look at it. I'm really bad when it comes to blood and ghosts and stuff. But I still managed to point my camera at Maya and take a shot.
Nothing sounds different from before.
Some parts of her testimony were very vague. I should press her on those sections.
Struggle all you like as you taste the bitterness of your defeat.
Well, amuse me with your useless questions, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Ah. I shall get the heart of this accent eventually, but, you know, everybody's just like, you know, replace the vowels, and it's like, no, I want to know about maybe cadence, I want to know maybe about, no, I like replace consonants, I'm like, what are vowels like?
Then perhaps that body was not Dr. Gray's at all.
Well, I reckon that's possible.
Objection!
If the body inside that room was not that of Dr. Gray, then whose body was it, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Right?
Right?
Well, what if it was that of Maya after the channeling? Or maybe... Ow! Foolish fool spouting foolish foolishness, just as I expect of a foolish fool such as you. If that were the case, then that would mean that Maya Fey is in fact dead. And that would make the defendant's chair quite a lonely place, wouldn't it? Sorry, Maya. Are y'all done here? Can I continue? Two, right? Two what? 2 shots. You took 2 shots.
But only one has been submitted as evidence.
Miss Hart, where is the other picture you've been withholding? That's a good question, Phoenix. Good job, baby. No, you got it all wrong. It's not me. I didn't mean anything bad. I know I can be a little mean, but I ain't evil. Well, at least she knows herself.
Then why have you not shown us other pictures of the court yet?
Well, it ain't obvious. That prosecutor woman told me to shut my trap about it. What? The karma!
Miss Von Karma, you're hiding critical evidence.
Unforgivable, Von Karma. Suppressing evidence like this, you're as bad as your father. This is a bad idea I'm gonna confront. Your Honor, the defense asks that Prosecutor Von Karma be held in contempt of court.
Well, yes.
Me? In contempt of court? You can't be serious. But you hid evidence from the court on purpose. That's not fair. Phoenix, are you a lawyer or a schoolchild? I was so angry I lost my composure.
Miss Von Karma, would you care to explain yourself to the court?
I thought this picture was not important at first, felt no need to submit it. That's all. How can you think? The pictures were more or less the same, so why bother with the second? I mean, it's just so much more trouble than it's worth for me to submit this as evidence. More trouble than it's worth? How can you say that? If you want to see it that badly, I'll submit it.
What is this picture?
It's obviously the second picture the witness took that day at the scene of the crime. Well, it's a little off-center, but that's what you get with a nervous amateur.
Well, I think the important point here is the person in this picture. This is most definitely not Maya Fey. What is the meaning of this?
This might be the break I was looking for. Now, should I or should I not insist that the person in this picture is not Maya? Should I insist or should I not insist? Because... should I insist or should I not insist?
This is definitely not Maya. Your Honor, as you can plainly see, the person in the picture is not Maya Fey. Yes, I can see that. It's not just a face, her whole body has taken on a different appearance.
There is only one conclusion that can be drawn then.
That somehow this other person snuck in and traded places with the defendant.
I can't pronounce anything today.
Order, order, order! Well, yes, I believe you are correct, Mr. Wright. The person who was inside the channeling chamber is not Maya Fey. Mia, we did it.
You're too soft.
Huh?
You're softer than Aunt Morgan's strawberry desserts, Phoenix. Take a look at Prosecutor Von Karma's face.
She's smiling? She's even wearing cyan lipstick. It's fantastic.
I think you had better continue to worry, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
Miss Von Karma, what do you mean by that?
Your Honor, I would like for you to take a look at this picture. This was taken yesterday at the detention center's visitors room. This is Mr. Phoenix Wright and the defendant, Maya Fey, during his visit.
Maya Fey? But isn't this a totally different person?
She looks this way because she is obviously in the middle of channeling a spirit.
It's unbelievable that she can...
However, it is true. When Maya Fey is in that state, she physically changes into the person she's calling. I wonder if she knows what she's doing.
Mia?
Taking pictures of someone during a private visit is illegal. That picture can't be submitted as evidence. Obviously, this picture is illegal, but I never intended to submit it as evidence in the first place.
What is she?
From the moment I showed this picture to the court, this case became all mine. After all, this image has now been forever burned into the judge's mind.
I don't have even a single witty line.
It looks like we've been had.
I don't claim to understand this, and I still cannot believe it. Are you saying that this person is the defendant, Maya Fey?
If I give up here, the trial will end. But if I slip up and say something wrong, it will cost me. Is there any way I can prove that the person in this picture is not Maya?
Your Honor? Oh, the fire has returned to your eyes, I see. This picture. Within this picture lies a critical contradiction to all the testimony up until now. A contradiction?
So, you think you've spotted a problem with this picture? Then earn your keep. Why don't you point out exactly what is so strange for this picture for the court?
Please direct your attention here. To the sleeve? But there isn't anything odd about it. And that is exactly what is so odd. Something that should be here is suddenly missing.
Should be there?
Ah! There was a bullet hole in the sleeve of the defendant's costume. If that's the case, it should be in this picture as well. Miss Von Karma, you intended to hide this valuable piece of evidence. You will most certainly be assigned a penalty for this.
Alright, this should do some major damage to her argument. Don't celebrate yet.
You like to bring down the mood, don't you?
Take a look at Miss Von Karma's face.
Ah, she's got the condescending grin plastered all over her face again!
Jumping the gun again, I see, Your Honor. I would like to extend an apology on behalf of these incompetent fools.
What do you mean? And what's incompetent fools?
If those fools down at the precinct hadn't missed the bullet hole, I would have gotten a report about it. As I didn't, I could not have known that this picture was of any value to this case.
I see.
She's lying for her teeth, I know it. That woman knew about everything. The bullet hole, the picture, everything. But you can't prove that. Franziska von Karma's idea of a perfect case is quite fascinating, don't you think? Your Honor, you need not worry. If you must assign a penalty, I'll personally make sure that the detective gets what's coming. Blah blah blah. I'm sure there will be a great gnashing of teeth at the next salary discussion.
Poor Gumshoe. In any case, this is a very big problem. When the defendant was taken into custody, her costume had a bullet hole in its sleeve. However, from this photo, it would appear that right after the shooting, there was none.
The judge is confused by this strange twist of events. This is your chance, Phoenix. Load all you've got into this one shot, alright?
Got it. Watch this, Maya. Your Honor?
There is only one logical explanation for the contradiction.
The defendant's sleeve had a bullet hole in it. However, this person clearly does not. There can be only one explanation. The person who shot Dr. Gray was not the defendant, but a different person altogether. What? Order, order, order! If order is not restored, I will suspend the trial. Oh! Ah! Why me? The defense's argument is a complete mess. A complete mess? I fail to see how. Please enlighten us. Hey, witness! Ah! What the heck? Is there any way to ask a girl a favor? Be quiet, you. You were the one who said it was only the two of them when you entered the room. Well, you know, if you were lying, I swear that my whip will be the last thing you see. Look, sis, you're looking mighty scary, so why don't we say, ah! I swear I wasn't lying or nothing. There wasn't anyone else in there, honest. You see? Now riddle me this, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Where did the defendant vanish to? And where did this other woman appear from? Why is it lately all I want to do is cry? Because that accent was terrible. Well, if the person in this picture is not the defendant, then this poses two very big questions. First, where did the defendant vanish to? And second, where did this person come from? That's right! Now hurry up and answer, Mr. Phoenix Wright! I'm looking at the sprite and all I can think of is, gee, Clever looks a lot like you. Come on, you can't fall apart here, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I'm saying Mr. now as Mia. Shit. I can't believe even Mia's calling you by my full name. But, I mean, how am I supposed to prove something like this? Had enough yet, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Or did you think you have enough in you to turn things around even now? To turn things around? That's right. Mia would always turn things around and change her perspective. Phoenix? So, where did this intruder appear from, and where did Maya disappear to? I need to look at this situation from a different angle. Let's see. What if before we broke in, the third person was already in the room? And what if Maya had left that room somehow? If I could prove that either one of those conditions were true... Mr. Wright, let's hear what you've come up with. I think what happened before we forced our way into the channeling chamber is... Maya had left the channeling chamber at some point, and the defense can prove this.
Oh, how a foolish fool makes a foolish face while dreaming foolishly foolish dreams. Maya Fey was being looked after by her aunt, Morgan Fey. Blah blah blah. The chances of her leaving the crime scene is lower than that of Detective Salary. Blah. The chances of her leaving the crime scene is lower than that Detective Salary.
I should rehearse all dialogue before I start. Anyway, let's see some evidence. Prove that from the murder until the time of arrest, the defendant had left the room. Miss Hart, do you remember this key?
Oh, well, I seen it. Hey, that's the channeling chamber key, right? Before the channeling started, Maya locked the door from the inside with that.
The defendant herself locked the door?
Yeah, that's why we all couldn't get the door open. That key's the only one of its kind, after all.
Oh, one of a kind, you say?
Wait, Mr. Phoenix Wright?
Yes, it looks like she's catching on.
I'm afraid to ask, but why is that key currently in your possession?
Huh? What do you mean?
If Maya Fey locked herself in, then the key should have been with her.
Yes, agreed.
However, she did not have the key at the time of the arrest. Ow, well, ain't that a kick? So how come you're holding it?
I got this as a present from a certain little girl. And that little girl was nowhere near the crime scene at the time.
That's preposterous!
This means that Maya Fey must have left the room. If she had not, then I would not be holding the key you see before you.
No! 9!
I don't know. 9 is a pleasant word to shout. It seems we have come to an impasse. This picture has clearly captured the face of the murderer. However, is this person the defendant or not? The defense is arguing that this person is not the defendant. Furthermore, as proof, this key has been submitted as evidence. Miss Von Karma?
How can this be?
At this point in time, a verdict on the defendant is not possible.
My perfect case! How is there a flaw in my perfect case? Don't think you've won yet, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I am a prodigy. I have never lost a case. And I don't intend to lose here in this courtroom to a fool like you. I don't care what I have to do. I will get my guilty verdict.
Holy shit, I love that. That's enough. If you would like to continue, do so in the lobby. Court will reconvene tomorrow at 10 a.m. That is all. Court is adjourned.
Whoa! That was you, Pearly? You summoned my sis?
Yes, I felt I had no choice.
Great going, Pearly! I knew you were special. Hey, Nick, did you know?
There's a plane passing overhead. Yeah, it's not like anyone else in there could have done that.
Nick? I know you're trying really hard and all, but I really don't remember ever leaving that room.
And I don't think that the third person could have gotten into that room.
Yeah. Well, at least we have until tomorrow to figure things out. Like, what happened in that room, for instance?
Yeah, I'm counting on you.
I envy the two of you.
Oh, by the way, Nick, do you think you could take Pearly back home for me?
Sure. Alright, Pearls, you ready to go buy some tickets?
Huh? A ticket?
Poor thing. So sheltered.